Hi everybody, it's Norma and I am doing an empties video. So these are basically all the candles that I had burning in the month of November. Basically, it was a pretty good month as far as candles go. My house smelled yummy with the exception of a few. There was only, a few disappointments, but the majority of my candles did great. I did, of course, utilize my crock, which is, something I'm doing more often now because I'm burning less. Because one, soot, two, maintenance, and three, I have a new kitty cat. So my empties video for the month of December is going to be drastically different than this video because I don't got a lot of candles going. So unless I start throwing things in the crock, I'm going to have a harder time getting through some of my stash. My new kitty is Gypsy. She's a stray that I found in my mom's yard. I first saw her about 2-3 months ago. I think it was like around Labor Day weekend is when I saw her. And then I saw her again the day after Thanksgiving. I was just getting ready to leave. And it was really nice out. And I was like, Mom, let's just walk around the yard before I leave because we were in the house all day cleaning and decorating. And lo and behold, there was Gypsy running around the yard. So I fed her and kept her. And yeah, it's been really interesting lately because, she is very independent. And that's one of the reasons I named her Gypsy, because she was kind of like a free spirit, just a little wild thing. But it's her first weekend free without being confined to a room, and her and Mom have been going at it. So it's been, a lot of growling, hissing, staring at each other going on all weekend. But anyway, let's get back to the empties. Hopefully in one of my videos you'll get to see Gypsy, but right now she's not around. She's doing cat things. So my big disappointments, I'll probably do those first, and then I'll be able to pretty much whip through everything else fairly clearly because I don't really have any new candles here for the most part. They're all kind of tried and true, did well. So the only really disappointment I had was Yankee Candle Harvest. I had 3 pillars, and these were in the smooth soft wax. I didn't have it in the large jar to burn this year. And it is a scent I typically like. But I just am not a fan of the smooth wax in general. And I'm definitely not a fan of the smooth wax pillars. I like the way they look. They fit, some of my pedestals. They don't take as much space as a large jar. They're easier to store. Those are positives. But to me, they just have always been scentless or close to it. And the other issue I have with them is having the wicks move on them. So I couldn't smell these. I mean, I had this issue, I don't think it was last fall, I think it was the fall before, with apple pumpkin. I had pillars like this, and I think I had some 2-wick tumblers too, and they were scentless when burning. So I don't know if it's a wick issue. Now this one didn't move. I mean, they burnt fairly well. I think these wicks actually did move, and I moved them now that I'm thinking about it, because I know they moved on me. So I must have moved them back. But they burnt well. But it was like, and this one took forever because it was taller, so I finally ended up crocking it. But even in the crock, I just couldn't smell it. So they're done. I honestly don't know if I would buy this scent again. Between Harvest and Apple Pumpkin, I do prefer Apple Pumpkin. So I'm trying to really narrow down my choices of, candles I'm going to be purchasing in the future, because I don't want to get back into that mindset. I have to have every new thing that comes out. I want to kind of, experiment, try new things once in a while, but stick to what I know I really, really like and enjoy. So yeah, Harvest, I probably won't get you again. New for me this year was, this is a Pure Radiance. It came out last fall, actually. This is Autumn Air. Pure Radiance has been discontinued by Yankee, so maybe you can find it at your, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshall stores, or the Yankee Candle outlet. It's a nice scent. It was like a marshmallow apple scent. And I liked the size because it was filling. I think I had it in a medium-sized fractal. So I picked it mostly because of the size. The throw was kind of light, you know, so I don't know if I get it again. I kind of liked it, you know, just as a blender scent, but on its own, it was a little bit disappointing. And I did burn it all the way through, so I didn't throw it in the crock, so I can't tell you how it would have thrown in the crock. You know, I had no burning issues otherwise. I know a lot of people have soot issues. I have a little bit there, but that was mostly because at the very end, I kind of let the wick go. But as you can see, this one, very little, just a little bit there. And that might even be a scorch mark versus a soot mark. I usually don't have problems with my Pure Radiance sooting. Here's another one in Ginger Pumpkin. As you can see, I have absolutely no soot whatsoever. That is a scorch mark from my lighter. I do keep the wicks trimmed a very, very short, like down to the nub, and so it will take a long time to get a wax pool. So, you know, I do have to allow several hours, and sometimes I cut it too short because then it's like, you know, for a while there, I'm not even sure if I have the candle going or not. But, you know, overall, I've never had issues. I've always liked the Pure Radiance candles, so I'm kind of sad that they're discontinued. You know, I'll probably pass by the outlet sometime next summer, and if they have any left at all, you know, I have to see if, you know, any of my favorites are there. Ginger Pumpkin is definitely one I always like, but I still have a few backups, so there's no urgency whatsoever. But all in all, you know, they did well for me. Okay, now this candle was disappointing to me. This is a writing jar, and the scent is called Mountain Cabin, but basically it's a dupe for Mountain Lodge. The scent itself is nice. It's like a woodsy, slightly cologne-y, just a warm, cozy, masculine type scent. I couldn't smell it. I had it in my hall bathroom, which is a tiny bathroom. I mean, there's room for, you know, it's a full-size bathroom. It has, you know, a sink, a toilet, bathtub, shower, but it's small. I mean, you don't want more than one person in there at a time. And it's the smallest room in the house, so if a candle can't throw there, it's just not going to throw. So I really couldn't smell it. It wasn't completely scentless like my Harvest, because if I did stick my nose over the jar, I was able to detect it, but it just didn't throw. So yeah, not a repurchase for me. Okay, now the candles you're going to see next are all Yankee candles, and they all did fabulous, and they would all be repurchases. If they come back, they are all retired, discontinued, or with the exception of pumpkin pie. This one's seasonal. But in general, I had fantastic luck. So I had pumpkin pie. I had 2 blueberry scones, yum. Pumpkin wreath, gingerbread, and cinnamon vanilla. All of them I burnt till they extinguished. You're going to see a little bit extra wax in cinnamon vanilla and gingerbread, simply because when they were done, I was using the jars to throw in some melts in my crock. So that's why you're going to see a little bit more wax, so you can see it's smooth. No wick. No wick. But they did burn all the way down. They all threw. It was just wonderful. All of these are discontinued. I did have my blueberry scone wick move. And you can see it moved all the way to the end, because I did burn it pretty much as far as it would go. And then this one did better. You can see no soot. Jars are perfectly clean. They were all fabulous. Okay, so next up we have Colonial Candle. We have pumpkin pie in the 22 ounce. As you can see, I got these on clearance. I think it was last summer at Meijer's. And vanilla eggnog. Now, vanilla eggnog did great. The only thing is it didn't really have too much of a throw. I would have to like walk by it, stick my nose in the hurricane to be able to smell it. But it burned great. I had no issues. Now you are going to see some soot. It did soot on me when I forgot to trim the wicks one day. They got really long. And the flames got really high. But if I had kept the wicks trimmed and kept my eye on it, that wouldn't have happened, because overall it did really well. Pulled out, no issues. The scent itself is marvelous. I think it is a discontinued scent now, but it smells just like vanilla eggnog. Too bad it's not stronger. Pumpkin pie was a disaster. It had puny wicks from the get-go pretty much. There was an issue with some Colonial candles that came out, I think it was 3 years ago. And unfortunately, some of the ones that I bought at Meijer's were from that time period, I think. But does this have the red? Nope. And this even doesn't have that red dreaded label that we were looking for. It looks like the traditional black label. It was just, the wicks were really puny. It had problems pulling out, even in a hurricane. As you can see, it's just a disaster. I finally gave up on burning it. I could have, usually the Colonials burnt down all the way. I mean, it's like when that nears the end, it just never wants to die. But I was done with it. I was over with it. And I was kind of over the scent too. At first I liked it, on cold. Now it just smells like smoke. But after a while, I was like, there's something about it. Didn't smell quite as good as the Bath and Body Works pumpkin pie or the Yankee Candle pumpkin pie. It was a little bit too heavy on the spice. And I like spicy candles, don't get me wrong, but it was just like, between the problems I was having with the burn and the scent, I was like, I'm over it. So I don't know if this one is still available online or not, but yeah, it wouldn't be a repurchase for me. I did burn 3 Henri Bendel candles, amber, which is discontinued, sandalwood, and silver birch. I think silver birch has been discontinued as well. Amber did really well. Burn-wise, they all did fairly well. With this very glass style, because it's wider on top, you basically have to let them burn a long time to get the wax pool going. But once you get past that point, I mean, they did pretty well. I didn't cut out wax on any of these, so I just had to let them go. And then once you get past this wide point, then there's no issues whatsoever. The amber was the strongest out of the two. I was really disappointed in the sandalwood because I could barely smell it. I usually burn the Henri Bendel candles in my bedroom, occasionally a bathroom, but usually in my bedroom. And they are, in general, strong enough to scent that room with just having one candle. And the amber did fine. Couldn't smell the sandalwood. And I was a little bit disappointed in the silver birch. I really love the scent silver birch. It reminds me a lot of Kringle's Christmas as far as the scent itself goes. Christmas. But Christmas I can smell. The silver birch, it was there, but I love the scent so much I wanted to be able to smell it more. The sandalwood, it's a nice scent. I actually like the scent, but it's kind of like, kind of generic, which it really surprised me because I thought I was going to absolutely love it. I do like it, and I think I have a couple more, so we'll see. Maybe the next time I burn one, maybe I'll have better luck. Try it a different time of year, maybe in a different room, see how it does. But yeah, these 3 were just okay to me. Not fabulous. Well, I take it back. The amber, I mean, that's one I've stocked up on. But the other 2, just okay. I burnt only 1 Kringle in November, and that was basically because I couldn't wait to burn this one because I love it so much. I think I probably burnt this the last week of November, like before Thanksgiving. I love this scent. I love this candle. I love the label. I love everything about it. I've reviewed it. I've talked about it. It's been in numerous empties. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's all I have to say. I love it. And last but not least, we have my Bath and Body Works candles. Now, I did crock some of these, but I did burn some of them all the way. One that I burnt all the way was Golden Cinnamon. And I don't think, let me think. I don't think any of these candles were out this year. These are all older ones that I had, other than Pumpkin Pecan Waffles. I'm assuming that came back this year. I didn't buy any fall candles from Bath and Body Works, so I can't be sure. I know everyone was really disappointed with the fall candle selection this year, so I was kind of glad I had some in my stash that I could get out and enjoy. I really like this one. It's nothing special. It's just, you know, a basic cinnamon sugar type of scent, you know, a little bit vanilla. But it's nice, it's soothing. The amber glass was beautiful to look at in the fall. It's just a nice basic scent, and I'm sad it didn't come back. You guys all know pumpkin sugar donut. I had this going on in the crock, and a pumpkin pie going on in the crock. Fabulous! Fabulous! Two of my absolute favorites from Bath and Body Works, and neither one was back this year. I did pumpkin cinnamon bun. This one I don't even think I burnt. Well, I once maybe. It's mostly in the crock. It did good. It was a little bit more of that red hot cinnamon toward the end when it was melting, but overall it did okay. Not my favorite. The pumpkin gingerbread, however, I really liked. And I remember when I got this at a semi-annual sale 2-3 years ago. I had passed it up and passed it up and passed it up, and then the last day of the sale they had one left and I got it, and I wish I'd gotten more, but c'est la vie. I really enjoyed that one. So these three were like stellar for me, absolutely stellar, loved them. And then classics, Thanksgiving morning, pumpkin pecan waffles, and then Thanksgiving harvest, which is sweet cinnamon pumpkin. The sweet cinnamon pumpkin, it was okay. Not my absolutely favorite, but I liked it. Pumpkin pecan waffles, it's a classic, everybody knows. It did great, threw great. My house smelled yummy. So yeah, so that's basically all the candles that I was burning in November. Like I said, my Empties video for December is probably going to be pretty pathetic, but it is what it is. You know, with the new cat around, I fear for my accessories, and I'm just trying to limit candles to places that are not easily accessible by the kitty, won't be knocked down because they're not in the path of, you know, running, because cats tend to use furniture as launching pads and ramps and things like that. So yeah, we'll see. A lot of Luminara this time, people. So well, it is what it is. So anyway, if you guys like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe below, and have a blessed day. Hey Gypsy, say hello to everybody. Say hello to everybody out in YouTube land. Say hi to your new candle family. I just came from White Barn. And no, I didn't go to the $8 candle sale yesterday. Actually, I went, but they didn't have pink petal tea cake or rose petal tea cake, whatever it's called. So I walked out with nothing. But I did an exchange today and got it. Say hi, everybody. Say hi, Gypsy.